Mourinho's pulled off a masterclass to snatch Bernardo Silva for Real Madrid. Is Ruben Amorim heading for a massive job in Italy? Plus, Arsenal are ready to splash 60 million quid on one of Barca's key men. All this and much more in today's episode. Before we get into the news, give it a like. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. Done? Let's dive straight in. Liverpool's summer is getting serious and fast. Arne Slot's gone, Andoni Irola's through the door at Anfield, and he's already made it crystal clear what he needs: a colossus at the back. Sportsboom have the exclusive. The Reds' top defensive target this window is Alessandro Bastoni. 7 seasons at Inter Milan, one of the finest centre-halves on the continent. And now, apparently, a move to the Premier League is on the cards. Iraola's football is relentless, aggressive, intense, no room for passengers. He doesn't want a defender who panics and boots it into row Z. He wants someone who can play out under pressure, pick passes through a press, and genuinely contribute to how the team builds. Bastoni is almost a perfect fit. 27 years old, physically imposing, technically elite. He ticks every box. There's just one rather significant problem. Inter Milan have absolutely zero interest in selling him. He's the cornerstone of their entire project, and to even get them to pick up the phone, Liverpool would need to put more than £70 million on the table. Bastoni himself makes this even harder. He spent his entire career in Italy. He's adored in that Inter dressing room. Pulling him out of that comfort zone, it's a big ask. But the idea of testing yourself somewhere new, the most demanding league in the world, that's a pull that gets to a lot of players. If Iraola can sell him the vision of this new Liverpool era, Bastoni might just blink. And if he does come, he'd bring leadership and a winning mentality alongside him. This transfer window's going to be noisy. Watch the wallets. Arsenal and Chelsea are scrapping in the London mud. The reason? Dani Olmo. The Spanish press are going full throttle on this one. One of the most technically gifted attacking midfielders in Europe has become an obsession for both clubs. And Barcelona, well, the Catalans are, as ever, perfectly willing to listen if the money sounds right. The asking price? A modest £60 million. Last season, this lad contributed 18 goal involvements. Olmo is intelligence, tactical versatility, and pure creativity rolled into one. For Barca, losing him would be genuinely painful. You simply cannot replace that profile on the market. But the Premier League calls to everyone eventually, and financial holes don't fill themselves. Barcelona will deal, but only if the player asks to leave. Arsenal have already made contact. Mikel Arteta has built a machine that fights for trophies on every front. But he needs more keys to unlock opposition defenses. Olmo fits that environment perfectly. Wide, half spaces, the pockets between the lines, he solves multiple tactical problems at once. And crucially, the Spaniard himself is reportedly very keen on the Gunners' proposal, a starring role in a genuinely ambitious project. That's a compelling pitch. Then Chelsea come barging through the door. Under their new manager, they need to accelerate and fast. Yes, their scouts have built their whole identity around snapping up young talent for the long haul. But right now, they want proven quality, composure and creativity. 60 million, job done. Classic clash of agendas. Arsenal want the final piece of the puzzle. Chelsea want an experienced lifeline. And Barcelona just need to sell something at a decent price. Speaking of Barcelona needing money, I need your subscription. And unlike the Olmo deal, it won't cost you 60 million. If you've been here before and that button's still red, that's a technical error. Fix it now. Hit subscribe and the bell. Don't be like Chelsea's boardroom. Make the right call quickly so you don't miss future videos. Olmo's got a massive decision ahead of him. Clock's ticking. Remember Ruben Amorim? The Portuguese gaffer is desperately hunting for a new job. Very much keen to remind top clubs that he exists. His stint at Manchester United was, to put it politely, a disaster. And the irony is absolutely brutal when you put it next to Michael Carrick. Carrick walks in, quietly drags the club out of crisis and delivers Champions League football. Carrick managed to resuscitate the corpse. Amorim couldn't. But one failure in England doesn't end a career. The Manchester United job is a uniquely toxic beast. It's broken better men than him. And according to Fichajes, AC Milan have already opened active talks with the Portuguese. The Rossoneri need a manager for a pivotal season, and Amorim is reportedly the frontrunner. Oliver Glasner and Ralf Rangnick are both currently losing this race. The pressure in Milan is every bit as intense as in Manchester, but his record at Sporting in Lisbon shows he can deliver results when the environment's right. There is, however, one very specific time bomb waiting in Milan, and its name is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Because if Zlatan starts causing problems, nobody's project survives. Remember the infamous restaurant confrontation with Allegri not long before he was sacked? The one that nearly turned physical? Or the stories about Ibrahimovic texting players tactical instructions behind the manager's back? The man's ego is genuinely ungovernable. He can derail anyone. So before Amorim worries about tactics or transfers, he'll need to sort out the biggest personality in the building first. But over to you. Why do you think Amorim struggled so badly at United? Is it the club that's broken? Or was he overrated from the start? Let me know in the comments. Jose Mourinho is back at the Santiago Bernabeu. Sounds like the opening line of a horror film. But here we are, and the special one has already started making his mark. Bernardo Silva is joining Real Madrid. The Spanish giants moved with the kind of speed that suggests someone had this planned for months. 36 hours. According to Fabrizio Romano's sources, that's all it took to settle every single detail between the club, the agents, and the player himself. 2-year contract, option for a third, and best of all, not a single penny going to Manchester City. Silva walks out of the Etihad this month as a free agent, gave them everything, saw out his deal, and left quietly. Well, quietly, by Portuguese standards. Because this was Mourinho's call. Personally, Jose needs someone in that dressing room with unquestioned authority. Someone whose presence alone raises standards and sharpens the atmosphere. Silva heard the pitch and said yes on the spot. And the way he played everyone along the way. Masterful, frankly, especially Barcelona. Remember those philosophical non-answers when the Catalan interest was at its peak? I won't comment on that. It's one possibility. Nobody knows what will happen. Textbook smoke and mirrors. In the end, Real Madrid elegantly mugged both Barca and Atletico, picking up one of the most experienced players in Europe for absolutely nothing. That's daylight robbery. The official announcement won't come until after the World Cup. Club's decision. For now, Silva's dutifully pretending his only concern is the Portugal national team. But the bags for Madrid are already packed. The rebuild has begun. Ideal deal. Bernardo Silva's move got sorted in 36 hours. It takes you exactly 1 second to hit the like button. Let's find out who's quicker. Fabrizio Romano's sources, or your thumbs. Go on. Mikel Arteta is about to get paid, properly paid. According to Graham Bailey's sources, Arsenal are preparing to hand their manager a new contract that'll make your eyes water, and the Kroenke family have finally opened the checkbook. Arteta's current deal runs out in a year. Right now, he's on around £10 million per season. The new offer? Double it. £20 million a year. £384,000 a week. That is unambiguously Pep Guardiola territory. And with Guardiola officially packing his bags and leaving Manchester City on the 1st of July, Arteta becomes the highest paid manager in the Premier League. Full stop. Xabi Alonso, who'll be taking charge at Chelsea, is expected to earn somewhere around what Arteta was on before. Arteta himself is now heading for the stratosphere. Is he worth it? Everyone inside the club says yes, emphatically. A 60% win rate. And, most importantly, the club's first Premier League title since moving to the Emirates. 22 years of hurt ended on his watch. When he arrived in December 2019, Arsenal were a sinking ship with no compass and no captain. Now they're a genuine trophy-contending force domestically and in Europe. There is no debate happening behind closed doors. Both parties want this done before the new season kicks off, and they're fully confident it will be. Arteta's earned his seat at the table. Bring on the banquet.